Hey guys, today I'm taking you on a little adventure with me. I am going to do the process of our meal planning and grocery list making and also our grocery shopping. So this is basically from start to finish how we plan for groceries for about 2 weeks at a time. The beginning of the month, which is right now, is when we budget the most for groceries, and then halfway through the month we just budget a little bit more to last us through the end of the month. So the groceries that we are going to be buying today will be for our meal plan for the first 2 weeks, but we'll also be buying bigger items that will last us through the rest of the month. So I'll take you through the meal planning process first, and then we'll go shopping. So first and foremost, this is the planner that I use for my meals. We only plan for dinners because we eat leftovers for lunch the next day, and we typically don't even eat breakfast. So this is for the last 2 weeks, as you can see on the dates. We ate everything that I planned with the exception of tuna cakes. There was just one day that we had something different, and so I moved things around, and tuna cakes was just the last thing that we didn't end up eating. So I'm going to erase this whole page and start fresh. So now that I have my meal plan cleared off and dated, I am going to start with the things that are always consistent for me. So Saturdays is when we always have leftovers. We eat whatever we have left in the fridge. Sometimes it's nothing and we have to scrounge. And sometimes we do have food to eat. So Saturday is always leftovers. Saturdays are kind of weird for us because sometimes we're home and sometimes we're not. So I don't want to plan for a meal on Saturday because it's never consistent for us. Sunday, though, is when I try to do some sort of bigger meal that we can have leftovers for. And then we would eat those leftovers for lunches throughout the week, typically on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then whatever we had for dinner, Mondays and Tuesdays, we'll have for lunch leftover the rest of the week. So I'll try and come up with some ideas for this coming Sunday, and then we'll make the meal plan based off of that. And then the second week of my meal plan is typically when I come up with ideas that require less fresh ingredients, because produce is usually going bad by the second week. So I try to use it up the first week and then have other foods the second week that have longer lasting ingredients. For example, the tuna cakes that we didn't eat last week have ingredients that don't typically go bad. So I almost always put tuna cakes on the second week, and I actually think I'm going to do that this week. So I'm going to do tuna cakes on this Thursday. And then I will look at my fridge and my freezer, see what I have, and then start coming up with some ideas for things to make on the Sundays and then the rest of the week. Here is the status of our fridge right now. We have not much. We have some sour cream and some cheese. We still have a fair amount of this cheese, but we usually buy a brick of this at Costco at the beginning of the month because this will probably last us another couple weeks. So it's more expensive, which is why we buy it at the beginning of the month. We have some alcoholic beverages, and then a big thing of mozzarella cheese that I did not even open last month. So I need to actually use this up and also put some of it in the freezer because it's probably going bad pretty soon. I have some more cauliflower and a little bit of broccoli. Don't mind my messy drawers. Some limes, a little bit of onion, and 1 carrot and some celery. And then this is the last of our bacon. And, oh, and this is tuna. Oh, come on. This is tuna for our cat to give her medicine in. So that doesn't really count. But that is the status of the fridge. We have, you know, condiments, but as far as items in our fridge, it's not much. It's looking pretty sad. Our indoor freezer is typically where we keep things that we use pretty frequently. So I have a little bit of marinara sauce that's left over, so I might do some sort of pizza. Remember, we eat keto, as you can see by our keto ice cream here. So I'll do probably a keto pizza with that mozzarella cheese. Have some frozen butter and some frozen berries. This down here, what do we have? Oh, these are my veggie scraps for my broth. I think this is some frozen tuna that Aaron got from his boss. Maybe we should do something with that. I have some frozen herbs that I saved from our garden last summer. This is frozen sour cream. I might get rid of it. It kind of didn't work out as well as I thought I was going to. The sour cream was going bad and I saved it. Not really a big fan of that. Some hamburger patties. We like to have these for nights where we don't have very much time, or whatever we planned on the meal plan just did not work out for us. So I typically don't put that into the meal plan. Some ground beef, and I think that's pumpkin. Ooh, maybe I should do something with that pumpkin. We saved this pumpkin for pumpkin spice lattes. Maybe I should make some pumpkin spice stuff, but I probably won't use that for dinner. That is the indoor freezer. Our deep freezer is looking pretty sad as well. We have some pork chops that are probably going to be freezer burned soon, so I'll work those into the meal plan. These are some other pork chops that we should probably use at some point. Salmon burgers, kind of the same as the burgers inside. We save those as like a backup plan, or maybe a lunch on a Saturday when we don't have any leftovers. These are some steaks and stuff that I got from my mom. Actually, I might do some sort of beef roast. That sounds good. I'll keep that in mind. We have a little bit of frozen chicken left, so we'll use up that frozen chicken. We have some more veggie scraps and bones for broth. We also have a giant turkey. I'm not making that yet. So that's our deep freezer. I'm just kind of taking an inventory on what we have, and that is what I will use to determine what to put in the meal plan. We also have one more freezer in our outdoor fridge, which is also looking pretty sad. There's like half and half, another thing of cauliflower and some eggs. That's it. But in this freezer is where I keep most of our frozen veggies. So it looks like we have a fair amount of broccoli, and this is more butter. Some stir-fry veggies, some cauliflower. These are all things that I'll take into consideration as I start meal planning now. So after going through the freezers and the fridge and determining what I have on hand, then I come back in and I sit down and I look at Pinterest and Instagram ideas that I've saved throughout the last few weeks, and I start coming up with a plan. So I have 2 heads of cauliflower right now, fresh cauliflower, that need to be used up. So today I'm gonna make loaded cauliflower soup as our kind of meal prep thing to eat as lunches throughout the week, and also have for dinner tonight. I have that mozzarella cheese in the freezer, or actually in the fridge, that needs to be used. So that is what's in Fathead Pizza, so I'll use up some of that tomorrow. This little eye on the meals means that it's an idea that I got on Instagram, so that way when that comes up I will be able to find the recipe. Chicken zucchini boats. I always do wedges on Wedge Wednesday. A big wedge salad is one of our favorite things to have. The pork chops I'll pull from the freezer, and they will be defrosted by Thursday. Those tuna steaks in the freezer we will have on Friday. Next week, I will use up that broccoli in the freezer and make broccoli cheddar soup. This buttery chicken casserole is something that I found on Pinterest, which is the little pea there, and that will be using probably frozen chicken, which is great on the second week. Tacos and refried beans is another Instagram recipe that I found. Same with the Salisbury steak and mashed cauliflower. All of these things will be using mostly frozen meat and more hearty vegetables that last 2 weeks. We have tuna cakes, and then on the 15th is our payday, and so we will go out to dinner and then have any leftovers the Saturday before. That is the meal plan for 2 weeks. So now I'll sit down and write out a grocery list based on what we have on hand and what we're gonna need for this. On the grocery list, we also add other things like snacks and coffee and creamer and that kind of stuff. So we'll have groceries for this meal plan, plus some snacks and side dishes and other things like coffee and such. Okie dokie, so our meal plan is made, our shopping list is made, and we are now on our way to the grocery stores. We typically shop at 3 grocery stores to get everything that we need at the best deal. We might even hit up 4 today, not quite sure yet. So the first store that we're going to go to is, it used to be called Cash and Carry, I can't remember what it's called now, but Smart Food Service, Aaron reminded me, and it is a restaurant supply store that anyone can shop at, and they have good deals on bacon and dairy products, usually better deals than Costco. After that, we are going to Costco, where we will get our bigger bulk items. Then we will go to Winco for the majority of our produce and that kind of stuff, and we may swing into Walmart to just grab a couple things that Winco does not have. About this shopping trip is that we are shopping on Super Bowl Sunday. Not just like before Super Bowl Sunday, we are shopping during the Super Bowl. Our hope is that the grocery stores will not be as busy on a Sunday when it's during the Super Bowl. The biggest one is Costco. But we are just pulling into Costco now, and I have a feeling it's not gonna be any slower than a normal Sunday. That's a wrap. We are packed to the brim. Our trunk is full, our back seat is full. We literally have no more room for groceries right now. So we spent a total of $325.67 at all 4 places. So our biggest haul was really at Winco. That's where we got the most stuff. and it was the most expensive too. So we went to 4 stores, and we still have about $75 of our grocery budget left, which we will either use over the next couple weeks buying little things at the stores, or use it towards our next grocery shopping trip in a couple weeks. So if we still have some money left over there, we just won't put as much in as we normally would have if there was nothing. So we are going to get home and unload all this and make some dinner. If you liked this video, please let me know below and I will do it again. While you're there, make sure to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time.